And welcoming on from
What up?
SDFC Nation and Wave Nation, Dmitry and Jenny. I'd like to welcome both of you guys. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Good to see you guys again.
All right. So let us know. Obviously, you've been already doing some work covering both teams, San Diego Wave and San Diego FC. Dmitry, we've seen you a couple times, in the press box, moving on up in the world, and just wanted to hear what you guys have coming up here. And I believe, boom, SDFCNation.com, correct for all your stuff?
Yeah. So, long story short, I met Jenny when we were both writing for East Village Times. We're no longer with that outlet. We're kind of doing our own thing. The idea was always get my own thing started. Super grateful for East Village Times for giving me and Jenny a shot as well. So I've always wanted Wave coverage. I'm not a Wave expert. I'm strictly a fan. Jenny was covering Wave for EVT, and I thought she did a great job. And I asked her, hey, do you want to, come on my website and, really take control and be kind of your own entity there and run the Wave website? And she said, yeah. And, she's been doing a great job. We've been trying to find ways to collaborate and, redid the website. Really looking forward to season 2 with more kind of coverage, independent. And Jenny, can you give us your thoughts on the transition so far?
Yeah, so the transition has been a great experience for me. It's really awesome to just be able to focus on the Wave this year and actually give it the coverage that it deserves. And it's nice. I think Dmitry and I have a similar mindset of the type of coverage we want, where we want to have those in-depth analyses, but we also want to keep like a fan-focused perspective on how we talk about both teams. And it's been really nice to have the agency to do that.
That's great. That's coming in. And again, we like to welcome independent journalism because, again, that's the fun part about it, is the independence throughout.
What Dmitry, what you were saying, man, it reminds me of a time where we approached Abe. I was like, hey, man, how would you like to write on our own website?
Yeah, that's true. I also started at East Village Times and then moved over, but it's been a lot of fun covering it. I know Jenny's been at a lot of Wave games. I've seen her there, and it's always cool to get more people out there covering it and like talking about it, just because I think the more minds that are out there, the more perspectives you get, and there's like so much diverse opinion and thought on these different things. I really liked your piece on Luisa Agudelo too, because it's like there's so many like different like things happening, stuff, and there's only so much like thought we could put into all this, so it's always great to have more people covering it.
Yeah, and I've got a pretty cool story. So you know how we were both at the jersey unveiling, and so you know how we saw Tom Penn, and I had a friend that was that approached Tom Penn at a golf course because she's in banking and they're doing this fancy golf outing at the Farmers Insurance. And she was like, hey, I have a friend who writes, covers the team. He has a website called SDFC Nation. And apparently, Tom was like, oh, wow, yeah, I really like his stuff. So he actually reads, independent coverage. And she said that, he was super enthusiastic. So I walked up to him and I was like, hey, I'm Dmitry. I just want to introduce myself. My friend, I heard she said good things. And he was like, yeah, you know what? Like, I'm super stoked on the independent coverage that you guys are putting out. And he was just very supportive. He's like, we need more of you guys because, independent sometimes go on and do bigger and better things and become, professionals or whatever you want to call it. Because, you guys are now covering the FIFA World Cup. So I'm just speaking about you. Yeah, he was just super supportive, and it was great to hear.
No, that's good. I do know that San Diego FC and front offices do tend to listen and watch and read independent. But hey, might like your guys because we aren't always as nice as you guys sometimes.
No, I'm very pessimistic apparently.
But for San Diego Wave as well, Jenny. I mean, what are your expectations? Not just for covering the team, but just overall, just in a nutshell. What are you expecting from this team next year?
I think we are going to have another sort of rebuild year, especially in the beginning of the season with such huge turnover with this transfer window. I do think it's a good thing because I think we're investing in youth. And at the game yesterday, we saw how good our youth can be when they integrate into the system. I think losing Sheridan will really shake up how our defense functions this year. So that'll be interesting to see if they can actually tighten up that back line. But I'm pretty optimistic. I tend to be an optimist, so I'm really hopeful for this season, despite all of the changes.
And same question to you, Dmitry, for the bedfellows of San Diego Wave at Snapdragon Stadium. Expectations for San Diego FC as they start their MLS campaign against Montreal here in a couple of hours, a couple of sleeps.
Yeah, it's really hard to predict this season. I do feel like we're going to have a great season based on the guys that are coming back, based on not starting fresh, guys knowing each other, guys having that chemistry. But it is concerning with the lack of depth. I do feel like we need to sign a couple more players to really feel comfortable. As you know, it's going to be a long season with multiple different tournaments that they're going to be in. So it's really going to test the depth of the guys. Injuries are for sure going to happen. It's just part of the game. So it just depends. It really depends. Can guys stay healthy? If so, we can make it far again, in my opinion. If we start having injury issues or fatigue, it's going to be difficult to win titles with a very young squad, which is kind of like the backups that we currently have.
It's a difficult question, and I'll give you guys the benefit of the doubt here to think about it a little bit, even if you want to answer. But I'm going to pose it to our two guests here. Dmitry, will go round robin. Which team is going to do better? Ooh. San Diego FC or San Diego Wave?
Oh, that's an easy one.
Oh, man.
Oh, okay.
I'm optimistic on the Wave and everything that Jenny has been writing. We've been kind of following with that, and I think the Wave's actually going to do better.
Oh.
I actually agree with Dmitry. San Diego FC, they're great, but like the depth is something that you really have to worry about, and every other team knows exactly what's going to come at them. And year two of just playing the same exact Right to Dream style, I think is going to look a lot different for a full MLS season, especially without Chucky Lozano and having a DP. I think it's gonna really be felt in the Western Conference this year, because every other of the top teams in the Western Conference got better. And then I don't know if I could say the same for the NWSL. I mean, Portland lost Sam Coffey. Mm-hmm. Kansas City looks a little bit different when they let go of Claire Hutton. There's some moves in the NWSL that I found a little bit questionable. And then some of the new teams are going to be interesting. Like Boston's going to be a little bit more dynamic. I think Denver was really interesting to watch this weekend. I had a lot of fun watching that game. So I think the Wave are going to be a little bit better, but I still don't think either are going to be like top of the table contenders.
Jenny, where do you stand?
Yeah, I agree. I think the Wave has a chance to do better than San Diego FC this season. San Diego has more games this year than last season, and they have less depth. So I don't know if that's a great combination for them. But with the Wave, I'm really optimistic about all of the new signings and, Jonas's tactics starting to stick better with the team this year. So I think that the Wave has a chance to do better.
I think San Diego FC is going to do a lot better than San Diego Wave. We're talking about depth. Like San Diego Wave got rid of half of their team.
True.
Like they lost their player, they lost their legacy goalkeeper. Like, yeah, they replaced some players, but not as good as Delfin Cascarino. like San Diego FC still has Anders Dreyer. They still have Yeppe.
You should have seen
the core
Ludmila,
base.
man.
No, but
No, I get it. I get it.
Lozano.
Lumila's going to be great.
But Chucky Lozano.
Like, come on. Like,
But
San Diego
Chucky.
FC is still playing at the level that they played last
They don't
season,
have
and they've
Corey
only
Bear.
played like 2 preseason games. And like San Diego FC is going to be a top 5 team in the Western Conference this next season. Like, no doubt about that. San Diego Wave is going to struggle to make playoffs, and this is me being a very optimistic person.
You were
for
high on the Wave
last
last
season.
year. That's true.
So I think Wave is gonna have some good games, but I don't see them being consistent. So I think they'll squeeze into the playoffs again, but I think San Diego FC is gonna be the better team.
Aiden Harangi. No, correct answer is the Sockers guys.
I don't know about
I
that.
don't know about that.
Didn't y'all lost yesterday?
Yeah.
Charlie.
Hey, yeah, no, just broken it.
I'm breaking ankles out here, not the cool kind.
It's terrible.
The cool
all right.
kind of breaking ankles.
But okay, so the San Diego FC coverage, San Diego Wave coverage through SDFCNation.com will be coming up. Just if you guys want to tell everybody where the best place to find this coverage, and I'll go ahead and pull it up here so you guys can plug it in.
Yeah, definitely. So the website is www.sdfcnation.com. And through there, you'll find Wave Nation. And then myself on Instagram, SDFC Nation. And then Jenny, if you want to talk about your socials.
Yeah, so I am SD Wave Nation on Instagram, and then on Twitter or X, I'm Jenny for 619.
There you have it. Well, good stuff coming out, and can't wait to see all of you at these games and start this coverage. Because again, it seems like it's as things start to happen. I don't know if you're catching the Matt Doyle drama in in MLS. Like these companies and these leagues just don't want to have actual people in these areas, and maybe not asking the hard questions. For sure. But with that said, anything else you guys want to go ahead and plug, cover, talk about before we let you guys go?
No, I mean, I recently wrote an article on the predicted starting 11. Got some good feedback on that from readers. And yeah, I mean, just wanted to touch on your point again about Matt Doyle. I mean, that was pretty sad to see. I think he's been at MLS, writing for MLS for like 15 years or something, and they let him go. But he's doing his own thing now, and it sounds like he's got a lot of good support there from independent coverage and just fans alike. So, yep, AI is taking over.
It's unfortunate.
Well, hopefully not too.
That's why you got to support independent people like Jenny and Dmitry here, and us as well. I know we're not using all the crazy AI stuff to write our pieces. These are all human stories. It's fun to see all this growing here in San Diego. It's cool to have you guys.
It's the real deal. 100%.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. So check it out, SDFC and Wave Nation, and we'll see you guys throughout the year, and we'll bring you guys on and talk a little bit further about that. So thank you for coming on and making the time, and we'll see you guys in a bit.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.